we're back with another Couch Potato General Manager video. Guys, please excuse my voice. I lost my voice attending the FSU Miami game. Miami pooped the bed at the end there. And I don't have my headset today, but we want to make sure we get this content out. Football picks against the spread, week 11 NFL odds. And Drew, we had a rough week last week. Headley's not joining us this time around, but Headley actually, I think he salvaged the week. You and I in particular, we struggled, but we're going to try to get back on the right track here. Before we do that, though, guys, check out the link, the betus.com link. All of the odds that we're going over here are right on betus.com. That's the sportsbook that we use. We encourage you guys to sign up with them. Any type of bet you can imagine, whether it be your traditional money lines, your point spread, over-unders, half, quarter, prop bets. Check out that link in the description. So, Drew, let's talk about the 1 o'clock window on Sunday. And we have the San Francisco 49ers visiting the Jacksonville Jaguars. 49ers came off a big win on Monday night. They handled the Rams. Of course, I believe they beat the Rams in 5 straight. They own the Rams. They frankly own the Rams. And their favorite -6 on the road. Who you got?
Yeah, I was surprised. It's a division game, obviously, with that game. And, you figure – it'll be close, but I figure the Rams, if anything, it'll be close and the Rams will kind of pull away. But they punched the Rams right in the mouth and the Rams fell to the floor and never got up. You know what I'm saying? So I think these boys may have gotten their mojo back, had Kittle out there blocking Von Miller into his 6-foot grave. It was crazy. No. It was kind of
body bag. Crazy. Body bag.
Definitely was a body bag move. But the Jaguars, listen, I know they're going to Jacksonville. And it's a West Coast team coming over to the East Coast as far as you can go for the most part. But I'm going to go ahead and stick with the 49ers, man. These boys might have got their mojo back. They definitely got Kittle back, which is a big plus. I just don't see a scenario where the Jaguars are going to come through. I'll take the 49ers -6.
I'm going to agree with you. And of course, I want to echo the sentiment in terms of what Kittle means to this team. Now that he's kind of got his legs underneath him in the second game back from an extended absence due to injury. He just changes the complete mentality and dynamic on the offensive side of the ball. You understand what I'm saying? And the 49ers can still play some defense. They may not necessarily have all the horses they've had over the last couple of seasons, but they still can play some defense. And I absolutely don't think Jacksonville has any answer for Deebo Samuel. He's just too much. Whether he's running the ball, whether he's being a receiver, he's just too much. He's setting the world on fire. And as long as he's healthy, the 49ers are going to have a chance to be able to put some points on the board, even if they don't have great quarterback play. So, yeah, definitely go with the 49ers here. Next up, we have the Colts visiting the Buffalo Bills. This is a big one. And the Bills are favored at -7 at home. What do you think on this one?
Damn. I know the Buffalo went out there and mollywopped the Jets last week. Mm-hmm. Mike White, I guess he's no longer the starter there for the Jets. The Colts, you know what? No, this is easy. Just take Buffalo -7. I'm comfortable with it. I like Buffalo's defense, and plus they're at home, so I think it's an easy win for the Buffalo Bills.
I'd feel better about this if the line was at 6.5. I actually feel better about this. I think I'm probably overanalyzing this one, but I'm going to take the Colts at +7, and here's the reason why. The Colts are going to play a lot of that two-man shell, right?
True.
And that is proven to give Buffalo some challenges. Now, the question is, can the Colts defensive line apply pressure on Josh Allen in this Buffalo Bills offense? That's the real question. But I think if they can remain disciplined and stay with that too high look, stay in their cover two shell, I think they can slow down the explosiveness of Buffalo. I expect Buffalo to win. But especially with Jonathan Taylor, who can take one the distance from anywhere on the field. Michael Pittman obviously has emerged as well. Carson Wentz obviously still is a question mark, but I think the Colts can keep it within a touchdown. I'm gonna go with Indianapolis at +7. Moving right along, we have an AFC East matchup of the Miami Dolphins visiting the New York Jets, and the Dolphins are favored at -3. Flacco is expected to start.
I don't really care for either one of these teams, but is Tua coming back? Is Wilson coming back? I think the report is Tua is supposed to come back this week. or be healthier, I should say. And then just in terms of the Jets, man, is Wilson coming back? Does that really matter? I know, the Dolphins like to play that man coverage. Do the Jets have a guy that can win consistently? Right now, I don't think that's the case. Man.
Forsake your boy Elijah Moore.
I mean, I thought he would have done more at this point. You know what I'm saying?
I think some of it has been the rookie, obviously him being a rookie and learning the offense, but also the inconsistent quarterback play.
Yeah, that's true. Man.
While you think about it, I'm gonna go with the Dolphins because I'm anticipating Flacco to start, and I have no faith in Flacco. None.
Yeah, I'll take the Dolphins, bro. -3. I'll take it. I don't like this game, but
no, it's an ugly one. But I think especially coming off that win in Baltimore, obviously, a lot of zero blitz. The Ravens didn't have an answer for it, which is really truly unacceptable. But I think we expected more from this Dolphins team. We expected more from them.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? And this New York Jets defense has struggled as of late. So while there's question marks in terms of some of the moving parts on the Dolphins, particularly their offensive line, I think the defense is going to do enough and give them opportunities, short fields, to be able to come out with a win at least by 3. All right. Next up, we have the Washington football team coming off a big win against your Bucks, visiting the Carolina Panthers, and the Panthers are favored at -3.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Carolina Panthers, and there's no hate on the Washington football team. But they lost Chase Young. I think he tore his ACL last week. Yeah. Obviously, they got stars all over that D line, of course. But I think the Panthers actually match up very well against the Washington football team. The Washington football team. And so I'm comfortable. With the Carolina Panthers -3.5. Very comfortable.
Okay. All right. I hear you. I do. I follow. You got Christian McCaffrey in the backfield. McLaurin is a little banged up. Antonio Gibson a little banged up. Panthers can get after the quarterback. Yeah, I'll probably lean towards Carolina. They've had a rough stretch here, but that drubbing of the Cardinals out in Arizona, obviously, makes you think twice. And then, of course, the energy that Cam Newton can interject here. As long as Darnold's not the starter, I can go with this. I can roll with this and take Carolina here at -3.5. I prefer it if it was 3, but I'll live with the -3.5. Next up, we have the Baltimore Ravens visiting the Chicago Bears, and the Ravens are favored on the road at -4.5. This one's interesting, especially since the last time we saw Justin Fields and some of the helter-skelter play that we've seen out of Baltimore. What do you think about this one?
Obviously, I'm going to keep close watch of this game. And I think last week versus the Dolphins, I think it was a Thursday night football game, kind of got away with a little bit of, it being the earlier game in the week. Don't practice as well or as good as you would. Everything kind of a walkthrough.
A little weather. Inclement weather. Yeah.
Right. And inclement weather. And they caught the Ravens. Caught them at a good time, perfect time in terms of what they were doing. I would imagine the Ravens are going to adjust to that. I don't think the Bears do anything close to what the Dolphins did. And Justin Fields looked like he's, kind of warming up, kind of getting, turning into what we expected him to be. But this is that Ravens defense. They're gonna do what they do. You know what I mean? And I think the Bears will, and Justin Fields, they will get theirs. Mm-hmm. But I think the Bears defense, man, they haven't been as good for whatever reason in the past couple weeks. Yeah. And I think that probably continues. And I'm comfortable with going with the Baltimore Ravens -4.5.
It's early in the week, and I'm not certain. I'm not certain on the Khalil Mack situation. Of course, not having him in the lineup as reared its ugly head. Attrition has been an issue for the Bears. I was adamant about, Lamar just being so much better than the opposition that they would win handedly last week, and it didn't work out that way. I'm gonna double down. I'm a huge fan of Justin Fields. I consider myself to be the conductor of the Justin Fields bandwagon as far as Couch Potato General Manager is concerned. But I also am a huge fan of Lamar, and so I expect the Ravens to come out and actually win this one relatively handedly. Although I would like to see Justin Fields still play very well in this contest, for my own selfish reasons. New Orleans Saints at the Philadelphia Eagles, and it's effectively a pick 'em with the Eagles favored -1.
Yeah, and I saw, I think it was today, I'm pretty sure it was today, that Kamara didn't practice. Fact check me down in the comment section. But, it's kind of funny because, I know Philadelphia's at home. Obviously, they get the little advantage, the -1. I don't know if the Saints are at the same level as the Eagles, even with the Eagles being at home. I think the Saints are a better football team. Obviously, they got some quarterback issues, if you will. Hurts and the Eagles were on fire last week, but I'm not gonna. The Saints, say what you want to say about that offense. That defense is the real deal, right? It's the cog that's keeping them. You can say what you want to say about Sean Payton, but that defense is what's keeping them in games, and is the reason they got the record they have. And so I'm going to go ahead and go with the Saints +1.
The Eagles got me last week, right? I went to Denver out, and the Eagles obviously they showed up, and I've been calling for on-target throws to Devontae Smith, and obviously you see the damage that he does when he's given an opportunity. He can't be covered, but this is a different type of defense here. If Kamara's in the lineup, I'm taking the Saints at +1 on the road, and I feel good about it, even with Trevor Siemian, and a splash of Taysom Hill in there. However, if Kamara's not in the lineup, I'm gonna go with the young Eagles. I'm gonna go with Hurts and the Smith combination. They seem to have found something in terms of the running game. They may be getting Miles Sanders back, so just to do enough here to get a win at home, assuming Kamara's not in the lineup. Up next, we got the Houston Texans versus the Tennessee Titans, and the Titans are at home and they're favored by 10. What do you think, Drew? Is that number reasonable, all things considered?
I don't like the number. I think it's a trick. I think it's a trap. But I'm gonna take it -10. I'm gonna take it gingerly, bro. Gingerly. You know what I mean? Anytime you see
ever so cautiously, yeah.
Yes, bro. Anytime you see a double-digit spread, if you will, you kind of want to do it cautiously, unless you know something someone else doesn't know, or if there's just a rash of injuries. That's not the case here. Outside of Derrick Henry not playing, but Titans are at home. They have the advantage. It's a team who's won 6 straight. They've beaten, I think, 3 or 4. Hit me down in the comment section in terms of playoff teams. I mean, this is the team to beat as far as I'm concerned, in the AFC especially, and might be in the NFL at this point. You know what I mean? They're playing good football. Mike Grable's got them boys, believing it is what it is. This is a division game. You always got to kind of put that out there, sprinkle that in there, but I don't think it matters. I think Titans win, and I'm gonna take my -10, man. I'm gonna take it gingerly, bro, gingerly.
Yeah, you said a mouthful there, and I certainly understand why you're leading with the Titans. The Titans have proven to be resilient here. They've basically found different ways to win. The defense is coming along. Jeffrey Simmons, obviously when he was coming out, we had him as a top 5 prospect. Injury depressed his value a little bit, so he was kind of towards the back end of the first round. Now you get to see him really, blossom in year 3, right? But I'm actually going to take the Texans at +10. I think the Titans obviously win. I don't think they completely poop the bed here and lose to an inferior opponent. I think they do win, but there are question marks about that offense, right? It just does not look the same without Derrick Henry in the lineup. Of course, you got Julio Jones, who's banged up and can't seem to stay healthy and isn't doing a whole lot either. There's a dearth of weapons. Let's be frank. You know what I mean? Obviously, the engine is Derrick Henry, but off of Derrick Henry comes that play action, and it creates those opportunities for A.J. Brown down the field, whether it be the dig routes, the verticals, the comebacks, whatever the case may be. So that's the reason why I think a divisional opponent who has flashed from time to time, particularly with Tyrod in the lineup. They haven't been great by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, they're one of the worst teams. But I think as far as them having a veteran group, a familiar opponent that isn't necessarily firing on all cylinders because of some injuries, I think the Texans can keep it within 9 points. I think that's possible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'll take that +10. I'll take the +10, and And I don't feel crazy. I don't feel, too bad about it. Actually, this number in terms of the over-under is set at 44.5. So we're anticipating a low-scoring game here. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't expect the Titans to lap them by, 3 scores or anything like that. Next up, in the last of the 1 o'clock window games, we have the Green Bay Packers visiting the Minnesota Vikings, and the Packers are favored on the road, but just -2. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, this is gonna be Aaron Rodgers coming out, firing on all cylinders, gonna punish everybody. This is one of those y'all can go to hell games. The whole everybody and
the middle finger game.
He might drop a 60 burger on a minute. No, he won't drop a 60 burger, but because the Vikings, last week, to me, the Chargers and the Vikings, they about here with each other, right?
Sure.
And the Vikings came out on top, just in terms of how losing games at the end of the game, or just can't hold the lead for whatever reason. But in this game, I'm just my whole thought process here is, the Packers are going to win by more than 2 points. Like, that's just easy peasy for me. You have an Aaron Rodgers who's hot. You know what I'm saying? He got embarrassed, and he's gonna let you. We're gonna see it. We're gonna see what that looks like.
That's kind of the narrative, right? If you're rolling with Green Bay at the -2, it has to be one of those bounce back games. Of course, Rodgers coming off that week where he had the whole immunization thing, whatever the case may be. He didn't look particularly sharp. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, Russell Wilson had an extended absence. He didn't look particularly sharp. But we still expected this Green Bay offense to put up, some decent points here against a struggling Seattle defense. And they didn't. And that was at home. I get it. There was some weather, but that generally doesn't stop Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean? So now you get in this controlled climate. People are whispering, you know what I'm saying, about Rodgers, especially after, they win a game where he didn't throw a touchdown pass and, he didn't look particularly sharp, whatever the case may be. Yep. I'm going with that narrative. I'm rolling with that narrative. But I think one of the main takeaways, and something that maybe folks just in general aren't paying very close attention to, is how well Green Bay's defense is playing.
Yeah, right? It was.
They're jamming. Now it's not going to be an easy task here in terms of dealing with Cook, Jefferson, Thielen, even Tyler Conklin. I think the Vikings can move the football. I think the Vikings can score some points here. But I think Green Bay's defense makes enough plays, even if, even in the event that obviously you're not going to have Aaron Jones and the passing offense isn't great outside of Devontae Adams. You understand what I'm saying? You know what I mean? As talented, as gifted as Rodgers is, as accomplished as he is, there's still that question mark in terms of what happens in the passing game. The Green Bay turns to A.J. Dillon. You know what I'm saying? And I think they grind it out and do get a win by about 3 here against a divisional opponent on the road. Let's move on to the 4 o'clock window. We have Cincinnati Bengals coming off the bye, traveling to Vegas. The last time we saw the Raiders, very disappointing performance against Kansas City at home. This is an opportunity to redeem themselves. They're actually underdogs as of right now at home at +1. What do you think about this line? But before you get to your pick, the line. What do you think about the line itself?
Anytime you're dealing with a -1 +1, I just assume it's a pick 'em for me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough.
Unless there's some funny business, but I just think this is just one of those, just kind of pick 'em. You have the Bengals who they're coming off the bye, and before that bye, they got their head smashed in. That was embarrassing against the Browns, who I guess the wheels might be falling off there. I don't know, but hey. One team coming off getting their head smashed in, the other team coming off getting their head smashed in. It's like, okay, we got to turn this thing around. It's an AFC matchup, conference game. I'm gonna stick with the home team.
Yeah.
I'm only picking them because they're at home.
I feel you. Yeah. I don't like this one. I don't like this one. These teams are too helter-skelter. And while I certainly understood it, I had an appreciation for it, I didn't put enough emphasis on it. The Raiders' offense is simply different without that ability to stretch the opposition. Now, of course, they brought in Deshaun Jackson, and perhaps Deshaun Jackson can offer that in limited spots. But without a true vertical threats on a consistent basis. It may not be a ton of shots deep. This offense doesn't look quite right. You know what I mean? And I thought Kansas City had a great game plan in terms of how they were able to mitigate the pass rush of, Max Crosby and Yannick Ngakoue and that group that's really been pressuring opposing quarterbacks. I wonder if the Bengals, in terms of, their young coaching staff, their young quarterback, are going to be able to put something together kind of how Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy did. You know what I mean? That's kind of my question mark with respect to that. So I recognize the deficiencies in terms of the Raiders offense. I still have my lingering question marks in terms of the Bengals' ability to protect, although they've been better than advertised, better than I anticipated.
Right.
This one may come down to the running backs, man. Does Josh Jacobs and company, do they get the job done, or does Joe Mixon steal the show? I'm gonna go with the home team. I'm gonna go with the crowd. Maybe that helps the defense just enough to get the win. Next up, we have the Arizona Cardinals at the Seattle Seahawks.
If Kyler Murray is gonna play, this is easy peasy, lemon squeezy. If he's not gonna play, then I got to go with Seattle and Russell Wilson and the Magic. I know that defense isn't that great, but the Cardinals got to show me something without Kyler. And is Hop gonna play? You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm comfortable with the Seattle if Kyler's not playing, but if Kyler's playing, I'm comfortable with the Cardinals.
It appears that it's going to be his call whether he goes or not, and all likelihood, if he's able to get through a week of practice, he will play. But we're talking about an ankle, and while he has a terrific arm, it's his legs that truly make him dynamic. His ability to extend plays, to be able to make, not just extend plays, but then pick up, yardage on the ground to extend drives, to give him more opportunities to make plays with his right arm. So I wonder exactly if, while he may be good enough to go, how much of a limitation is it going to put on him? And the other thing that needs to be mentioned here is that the Cardinals have not looked the same defensively since they lost J.J. Watt. Since they lost his play and his leadership. You know what I mean? And every time I'm ready to say, yeah, J.J. is over the hill, he just proves me wrong every single time, man. And he had a rash of injuries, and of course, yet again he loses the balance of the season due to injury. But he's a difference maker when he's in the lineup. He's a difference maker in that locker room. You know what I mean? So I'm actually going to go with Seattle here. Even if Kyler plays, I'm going to lean towards Seattle. And I do feel like I'm going out on a little bit of a limb here. But they're at home. Russ obviously struggled last week. I think he bounces back this week. I think he gets the moon ball going to Lockett and Metcalf. And I think they pull this one out. I just don't think Kyler is going to be whom they need him to be in order to obviously continue to be one of the better teams in the NFC, NFL as a whole. And like I said, if he's in the lineup, is he going to be 100%? Probably not. You know what I mean? So I'm going to lean with Seattle this week. And then the last 4:00 game, perhaps the game of the week, definitely the game of the week. I don't even think there's a debate here. We have the Dallas Cowboys visiting the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Chiefs are favored at -2.5.
Yeah, bro, and the over-under is the highest of all games, by the way, too. Yeah. It's crazy. It's right. And we was talking off air, and I said this is the Big 12 championship game.
Yeah, this is important.
So
this is important.
Does Dallas know the formula? Are they going to follow the formula? Are they going to kind of do what they do in terms of Kansas City? Man, did Kansas City kind of neutralize? They figured it out. Hey, man, we got to be able to be patient, dump it down, take our shots, because they'll be there eventually at some point. And is Dak back? You know what I mean? They went out there and I thought the Falcons would keep it close.
Me too. Another one I got wrong last week.
Like, really? Yeah. That's what we putting out there? That's it? Okay. All right. Well, that makes this game so much harder because if the game is close, I might side with KC, but and KC's at home, +2.5 or -2.5. Oh man. I'm gonna roll with KC, bro. They at home. It's not 3, it's -2.5. I'll take it, bro.
Yeah, I certainly, when I look at that number, I have that same sentiment. And the question is, is Dallas willing to utilize the formula, but also adjust to Kansas City's adjustment, right? And will Kansas City remain patient? Will they remain patient? Will they continue to leverage their running backs. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where the opportunity has been. With that too high look, the opportunity's been with the running backs. And Darrell Williams, obviously, he had a huge game. He had over 100 yards receiving out of the backfield. You understand what I'm saying? So this one's tough for me. I expect like the last team to have the ball to end up winning this one, to be honest with you. So who ends up with the ball? That's the question. Last. Who ends up with it last? That's really the question. I think Kansas City has won some games that they probably shouldn't have won. Of course, they kind of got back on track last week. Dallas had an opportunity to see that. I'm going to go with the 2.5. It's -2.5. I'm going to go with it. I think any more than that, I probably would have gone with Dallas. But yeah, that's the safe money. I don't feel great about it, but that's the safe money.
Definitely
safe money. Monday night game, the New York Giants, right? The fearsome Giants, the one team that has Drew shaking in his boots every year, faces his Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bucs are favored at -11, coming off back-to-back losses.
Yeah, they crapped the bed last week. I don't know what they didn't show up, bro.
Yeah,
they showed up at a drive here, drive there, but for the most part, they didn't show up. Let a team go damn near 20 plays, held the ball for damn near 11 minutes, and ended the football game, right? So there's a lot of guys out there that feel like, damn, we went out here and we got embarrassed, right? Thought, we're going to walk in here, we're going to get this W, go play the Giants on Monday Night Football prime time, and we're going to be 7-3. Oh, they got a big old psych. They got punched in the mouth and got embarrassed and lost by 10. Like you said, I don't like this matchup, bro. I don't like when the Bucs have to play the Giants or the Rams, bro, because the matchup isn't good for them. Just in terms of what the Bucs want to do, you know what I'm saying? And the Giants have the formula in terms of defense to stop them. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, the Washington football team ran some of what the Giants did, what the Giants do, what the Rams do, which is and essentially what the Saints did, which is have two over the top. We're not going to let you beat us. As soon as they decided, hey, we're going to bring a guy down in the box, Bucs got him, right? Giants aren't going to do that, man. They're going to make you dink and dunk it down the field. Going to have to make guys miss tackles. The Bucs are a team that, and I don't know if it's still that. It maybe not be that now, but they were leading the league in yak. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't do that last week. And the Bucs they've lost every game this year without Antonio Brown. So I say that to say this. I don't know if he's playing. I think the Bucs win. They're at home, but I don't think I got to take the Giants +11, bro. I think this is a closer game than most people think.
I agree with you. And the point you made about Antonio Brown, it's glaring. It's glaring. The Bucs simply aren't the same without him in the lineup. That offense isn't the same, and it's not for lack of talent. That's the crazy part. It's not as if they're hurting for talent, but just his importance to this offense and Brady's level of comfort in general with his receiving core. It's just one of those things. For whatever reason, they can't seem to get over that psychological hump there without Brown in the lineup, despite all of the talent that they have. You understand what I'm saying? They can still move the ball up and down the field, but they just don't seem to be quite as precise. This is a big number. You know what I mean? And the Bucs aren't playing well enough, in my opinion, especially when you consider the matchup that you've indicated over the years. You've said that you hate facing the Giants, right? Because of the style of play that they deploy. And I'm with you. I'm going to go +11 here. Bucs win, though. Definitely win at home. All right? That's going to do it. Guys, again, check out the betus.com. Link in our description. Definitely want to take advantage of that. There's some discounts. There's some bonuses that are associated with that. Again, that's betus.com. Link in the description. Sign up right away so that you can place your bets for week 11. For Drew, this is Juice. Get y'all next week.